Boxing Nation.
Deontay's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? For those of you that are subscribed to me, you've heard me say 1,000 times, you could hide the truth, you could lock the truth in a cell, in the dark, throw away the key, and eventually that truth will still break free and come to light. Almost all the time we see it happen. These dumbass fans that post the most ridiculous messages saying everything that is contrary to the actual truth are often always exposed as being nothing but a decaf. Alex Ariza has broken his silence about the mastermind, Bob Arum, and this is what he had to say about Bob. This fight is not happening because of Bob Arum. Don't get me wrong, Manny truly wants to fight Floyd, and I know Floyd wants to fight Manny, but they know that's never going to happen. I know it's not going to happen because that was always the agenda. Make sure that Manny doesn't fight Floyd. Michael Kantz, Bob Arum do not want that fight to happen, have never wanted that fight to happen, end quote. You know, some other things that Alex Ariza said in this interview, he said Bob Arum would always say, boxing fans are like a dumb rock. You could kick them in any direction. And you know what's so funny about that is Bob is actually right when it comes to the majority of boxing fans. Because when they did a poll saying who was afraid to make this fight, Mayweather or May-Pacquiao, the majority of casual boxing fans, they all said it was Mayweather that was afraid, right? They were all basically going in the same direction that Bob Arum was kicking their ass to go. You get it? And it was something else that Alex Ariza pointed out that made a lot of sense. Alex said, if you think about it, boxers are not trying to sue Al Heyman. The boxers are trying to sue Bob Arum. What does that tell you? I don't know if you guys noticed, but in the last 2 years, there have been multiple fighters that have tried to sue Bob Arum. Just like fighters were suing Don King back in the day, the only promoter today that's really getting sued is Bob Arum, not Al Heyman. So, you know, of course, they're always going to look for a scapegoat, and that's always going to most likely be the person that they don't like for reasons that I think we probably already know. Go ahead and pick Al Heyman and say he's the bastard. You have all these people saying Al Heyman is destroying the sport. Meanwhile, Bob Arum gets a pass while all the fighters are suing him. Wow. We know what time it is. We know what time it is. So back to Alex Ariza spilling the beans. You know, this is not a surprise. This is not something that I didn't know. Of course, I knew this since day one. And a lot of fans knew this deep down as well. They just didn't want to admit it because they cannot separate their emotions from talking boxing. That's what you call a decaf. Okay? What's so ironic about this whole Bob Arum and Manny-Pacquiao situation is we have actually had almost everyone in that camp on that team, Top Rank, Team Pacquiao. We've heard almost everyone say pretty much the same thing about negotiations between Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. I interviewed Freddie Roach. You guys could, I'll try to add the link later on. But Freddie Roach, he said the first fight was our fault. You know, the first fight never happening. It was our fault, meaning him and Manny Pacquiao, the negotiations between Pacquiao and Mayweather. He went on camera and blamed his team. Okay? Then Freddie Roach, in the same interview, he said, I think that Bob Arum, he wants that fight to be Manny Pacquiao's very last fight. Okay? He just corroborated everything that Alex Ariza just said. So I mean, if Alex Ariza's, if it's one person saying it, you may be a little skeptical. But if you have the head coach saying it, and you have many other people saying it, then now it's starting to make more sense. We know Bob Arum's track record. We know that when Floyd Mayweather called out Manny Pacquiao before Floyd had to do his little 60-day stint in jail, we know that Bob Arum came up with the most ridiculous excuse why he couldn't make a fight with Floyd Mayweather. Floyd wanted to make the fight May 5th, of course, before his June 1st date. And guess what? Bob said we would have to make the fight on June 1st, the same day that Floyd Mayweather had to turn himself in to jail, right? That's Bob Arum kicking those dumbass rocks, just as he puts it. Because once again, he knows these dumbass fans, they're going to believe whatever he says. And Bob has been right. And if you really think about it, Jim Lampley, he feels the same way. Jim Lampley believes whatever he says on his shows and when he's calling fights, he knows that these very vulnerable, easy to manipulate fans, they're going to listen to everything that he says. But they're not just listening to him because they're just easy to manipulate. They're also listening to him because this is what they want to believe. They don't want to believe the truth because the truth is not in their best interest, right? The interest of hating Floyd Mayweather. I mean, it's hard to hate Floyd Mayweather when you are sitting there acknowledging the truth, right? So what do? You come up with your own lies. You come up with your own rhetoric to make you feel more comfortable in hating this man, because it's all about emotions at the end of the day for these type of fans. So Bob Arum and Jim Lampley, they understand this very well. This is the reason why they kick those rocks in whatever direction they want to kick them in. Because they understand it doesn't matter what you see with your own eyes. People like Bob and Jim, they're going to tell all the dumbass fans, that's not what you're seeing. Do not believe your eyes. Believe what I am telling you, okay? You watching that Rodney King video? Rodney King getting his ass beat? No. Rodney King ain't getting his ass beat. Rodney King is trying to beat all of those cops' ass with his hands tied behind his back with handcuffs. This is what they will try to get you to believe. Everything is contrary to what you are actually looking at with your own eyes, okay? They'll tell you nobody wants to watch Floyd. He's boring as hell. But then the numbers come out. He's the most watched fighter in the whole sport. Floyd Mayweather is running. But then you watch the video and you see Floyd Mayweather standing right in front of you. Floyd Mayweather doesn't have legs anymore. Then you see Floyd Mayweather moving around the ring, floating like a butterfly, showing you he has legs. Andre Ward is boring. Nobody wants to watch him. But then you look at the numbers, and Andre Ward, more people watched Andre Ward last year than Triple G and Mikey Garcia. Floyd Mayweather doesn't give fighters rematches. As soon as you turn around, Maidana gets a rematch. Guillermo Rigo is boring, but yet he throws and lands more punches against Nonito Donaire, and they don't call Donaire boring. Guillermo Rigo gets a first-round knockout in his very last fight, and I still have people telling me Rigo is boring. What does that tell you? That tells you everything you need to know right there. Once again, do not believe your eyes. Believe what I am feeding you. This bullshit-ass red meat that I keep throwing out for all of the ignorant fans to feed off. What good is the truth if the truth is not something that I want to hear? This is what they're saying. This is what they're saying. I could give you tons. I just gave you a couple. I could give you tons and tons of examples. Okay? But I'm just giving you a taste. That's all I got. I'm on to the next one.